What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Cut Man Podcast with your boy Austin Cardish. Man, do we have a lot to talk about, and a lot of crazy stuff's happened, and we're gonna get into it, including the questions. Hey, is Aaron Rodgers coming back to the Steelers, or is he not? Is he retiring? We don't know, but we will discuss it. Also, is Joe Burrow overrated? I've heard the question asked this week, and I got to thinking about it, and we're going to let you know what I think. Also, an Alabama player scams his way into $20 million. Crazy, right? Because that's what I thought. As soon as I heard that, I was like, how do you scam your way into $20 million? And also, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs starting up. Hey, it's already crazy. The play-in's crazy, so I can only imagine what's going to happen in the actual playoffs. But yeah, with that, let's just get into it, man. And like I said, we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers first. Is he coming back? Is he not? Hey, truthfully, I think the only person who knows is Aaron Rodgers. I don't even know if he's actually got a wife or not and all that. But if he does, I would not be surprised if she doesn't know what's going to happen. But to me, I don't think Rodgers is coming back. Nah, I'm just playing. I think he is coming back. In all seriousness, I think he's going to come back. And honestly, if he's not going to come back, then why has he waited this long to say something? Which is kind of why I'm leaning towards him coming back. It's like, what, you could have just came out and said you weren't coming back and whatnot. And truthfully, he might have seen last season as hey, I thought that was going to be a final season. Everybody was going to kind of send me off in a farewell tour, and he didn't get that. So maybe he does come back trying to get that. I don't know. But yeah, I think he's coming back. I think he's going to give Will Howard an extra year to learn under him and help fix his mechanics, which will be really good. But yeah, especially with Mike McCarthy coming in as the head coach, I don't see Aaron Rodgers retiring just yet. And it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Hey, we did go out there and get Michael Pittman to make him more curious, Maybe that does pique his interest and he comes back and whatnot. I have heard, though, that there's a cap number out there that he's looking for and we're not wanting to budge on. Rather, that's true or false, I don't know. But, hey, we're not going to pay you $40 million to come in and be old Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you could barely run last year. You needed a walker. Like, come on, my guy. But, yeah, to me, he's coming back. And last year, he waited until after the draft to see what we did. And I think that's kind of the case again, which I don't know why everybody's in an uproar over, oh, we're waiting. Yeah, wait some more, because truthfully, he's probably going to announce it after the draft, and he's going to probably come back. That's where I think his mind would be, but who knows? It is Aaron Rodgers. You never know what's coming with him. But on to another quarterback, man, Joe Burrow. Like I mentioned, I seen something earlier this week where people were having a debate if Joe Burrow was overrated or not. And I'm not going to lie, the best ability is availability. And they always say that. And truthfully, hey, he has dealt with some serious injuries. Now, they're not injuries that, it's his fault. Stuff happens, especially in a contact sport. But hey, one's got to wonder, man, like, is he going to get hurt again this season? And if Joe Burrow gets hurt again this season, I could see trade smoke coming in to the picture. And, hey, the Bengals might be shopping him. Not saying they will, but I could see it. But, yeah, Joe Burrow, man. Like, listen, Joe Burrow to me, as a Steelers fan, I'm gonna put my bias aside. As a Steelers fan, I think Joe Burrow is the top 2 quarterback when healthy. Now, I think he's up there with Matthew Stafford, and you can say what you want about Patrick Mahomes or whatnot and make an argument, but to me, just slinging a rock, it's Stafford and then it's Burrow. And like I said, the best ability is availability. And I think, truthfully, on a side note, if Joe Burrow stays healthy this season, he's going to be in the running for MVP, and he probably pulls it off, because I don't see how if healthy, he doesn't, Like, of course the injuries are there, like I mentioned, but the talent, he's still got the talent, and His O-line's iffy, but I think they got some pieces on there to just keep him clean enough where he's going to go on and he's going to have an MVP caliber season, honestly. But like I said, you got to stay healthy. And to me, if he gets hurt again with a serious injury, the trade smoke's coming. I just don't see any way around it. Like, there's been rumors before that, hey, the Bengals might be interested in shopping him, and that was turned down quick. But, hey, it's the NFL, and it stands for not for long. And it's a business. They all treat it like a business, regardless who you are. But, yeah, man. Burrow, I don't think he's overrated. I mean, y'all can discuss what y'all think, but, yeah, man, Burrow's got some serious talent. It's just, the injuries. And he's got the weapons, too. And on a side note, with his weapons, man, I think they can add to it in this draft coming up next week. And I think they can add tight end Joe Royer from Cincinnati. I think he'd be really great with Joe Burrow, I know you got Gesicki and Tanner Hudson who you like, but, hey, Royer has a chance to go in young and hungry, man. I'm telling you, this dude's a dog. So if you pass up on him, when you can add an extra weapon like that to Burrow's arsenal, GG's. Good luck on that. But, yeah, I think that's a player who they should target. And I could see, like, mid-third round, I'm telling you, right there. Perfect. You're at 10. You're at 10 in the first round, so to trickle over to, like, the 10th pick in the third round, I believe. As long as they have third round, which I'm pretty sure they do. But, yeah, pick him up, man. I'm telling you. You can't have too many weapons in this league. So, let's see what Joe Burrow does. Like I said, my money would be on potential MVP caliber season. Not necessarily saying that he's going to get it. So, but, yeah, man. Let's move on to some more football. And we're going to move on to some breaking news that happened over the past day, I'm sitting here just minding my own business, getting the ESPN alert. Will Anderson goes ahead and becomes the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. And this deal's massive. 3 years, $150 million, $134 million guaranteed, which I believe is the largest ever. And it's like, dang, man, like, Will Anderson is a dog, don't get me wrong, but the average value is like 50 mil. Now, will it be 50 mil that he gets paid a season? Probably not. They got their ways of working these contracts to actually give him that kind of money and then actually benefit the team as well in some regard. But, man, 50 or 150 mil for 3 years is insane. Like, hey, you could have paid me like a mil, 100K. You pay me 100K. That's good enough for me. But, hey, he is a dog, and I think he is slept on. So, good for him, man. And Texans trying to keep their own, so I can't hate him for that. And it just sucks that he's in the AFC, and we got to deal with that if we make the playoffs again. We dealt with it in this past playoffs, and, yeah, that didn't go too well. But, man, Will Anderson deserved. I believe he deserved it, but, yeah. Good luck to whoever tries to break that record next. I doubt they'll start handing out more money than that. But, yeah, let's get on to the Alabama football player scamming his way into $20 million. All right, so there's some crazy details. So, I guess in this whole scam, this dude impersonated the likes of Xavier McKinney, the Packers tight end, David Njoku, the former Browns tight end, or I done messed up. Xavier McKinney, the safety for the Packers, I should say. Tight end David Njoku, former player of the Browns. And then Michael Penix. Like, I had so many questions when I heard about this. I had to just look into it. And I guess from what it is, the dude ends up using like disguises to dress as these three players, right? And he somehow gets out 13 loans of $20 million, him and some other dude. And I guess they caught on to him. They had to have, I guess. I don't know. It's a whole situation that's crazy. But, so what happened was, like, they'd have, like, Zoom meetings, and he'd have, like, fake documents and IDs and whatnot, and then he'd throw on like wigs and everything, and these people believed him. And it's like, first of all, how are you getting a loan over a Zoom call? Like, who does that? And 20 million over 13 different loans. So you get, not only did you give these guys 13 different loans, you gave them 20 million. So they had to be some really good loans. I'm telling you that. I don't I don't know how he did it, but I guess good for him until he got caught, obviously. But like, man, how is this? Is this the world we're living in, where to get a big loan you can just Zoom call people? Like, I don't know if it's got to be stupidity. Honestly, you got to be stupid to do something like that. Like, I wouldn't give anybody $5 over a Zoom call, let alone a big amount like that. But yeah, and his name was Luther Davis, which I've never heard of him. So it must not have been anybody. But yeah, I guess the guy got the money and he used it on jewelry, cars, and real estate. Which, hey, I'm not gonna lie. If I did some stuff like that, I'm not putting all that in my name. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not putting all that in my name, and I'm going on and I'm living life to the best I can and trying to stay away from the feds. But like, the world we live in, dude's just out here scamming for $20 million, impersonating current players. And like, do some research. Like, if he's acting like NFL player, do some research. Make sure it's that player. And they say the pictures on the IDs matched up with just random pictures on the internet that you can look up. So it's like craziness. Like, do some research before you give people money and trust them. Like, dang. But what do y'all think about that? It's crazy. Like, would y'all do it? Would y'all loan a friend, like, I don't know, say $100 over a Zoom meeting? Or not a friend, but a stranger? $100 over a Zoom meeting, let alone like a couple mil? I wouldn't do it. But yeah, man, let's get on to some more football. And it's gonna be the last of the football before we get into NBA playoffs topic. So, like I mentioned, draft's coming up. It's gonna be exciting. I'm telling you. I'm gonna get through this weekend, and then it's all about the draft. And obviously, it's in Pittsburgh, and we got a lot of players in town calling the picks and whatnot. We got the most picks, so that's gonna be exciting. And hopefully, we trade up a couple times or something like that, or maybe trade back, grab a couple more picks. But who knows? Maybe we grab 12 players and see which ones pan out. I don't know. The Steelers been kind of hush-hush about that. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure Omar Khan's going to pick some great players. Him and Mike McCarthy. It's going to be interesting to see the first draft and how it pans out without Mike T, too. But yeah, man. I don't expect 2 quarterbacks to go in the first round. I think it's going to be Mendoza and then maybe early second round or whatnot. Ty Simpson, which I wouldn't be surprised if there's no quarterbacks taken in the second round at all. Like, it seems like a bad class, to be honest. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, draft's coming up, man. Y'all got to get excited for this. Like, if you're a football fan, you have to be excited. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But yeah, I'll be watching that next weekend. I'm going to try to make another episode of the pod next week, right before and whatnot. And then after, we'll discuss what happened and whatnot and see what we have in store, You never know. But, hey, grab your snacks and get ready for an absolute banger for a draft. I'm sure it's going to be exciting like every year. Now, listen, we know everybody watches first rounds, watches second rounds. I'll watch up to about the 4th to 5th round, and then I'm done because then the picks fly off the board easy or quick. But yeah, that's next week, and we'll get into that, like I mentioned, and whatnot. And hey, let me know if there's a player y'all want me to look at before this draft happens, and let me know who y'all think y'all should draft. Your favorite team should draft. Personally, I'm expecting O-line with the Steelers, but like I said, you never know. They need wide receiver too, they said, so we'll see what happens. And with that, we're just going to move off of football and all in all, and we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. And like I mentioned, the play alone has been crazy already. So the other night, LaMelo ends up making his last second layup to give the Hornets a 127 victory, or 127 to 126 victory over the Heat in overtime. Now listen, what's crazy about this was not only the last shot, but the fact that Bam Adebayo was tripped up by LaMelo, fell and got hurt early in the game, and so the Heat had to like battle back and try and force overtime without, honestly, their best player. And hey, props to them for fighting and staying in the game and, almost winning it at the end. But also props to the Hornets for not allowing them to come back and end up finishing it and everything in between. But yeah, man, it was crazy seeing Bam go down early. I had him in a parlay. That sucked, but hey, that's how parlays work, But yeah, that was a crazy game. The Warriors end up somehow pulling it off against the Clippers and sending them home. And this is like the third or fourth straight year Kawhi has either A, missed the playoffs, or B, got a first-round exit. And you got to wonder, man, is it time for him to head out of L.A.? They've tried to rebuild. And they went and got a couple pieces, including Darius Garland. They traded James Harden for. So I expect him to do a rebuild and try to get some younger talent in there and probably move on from Kawhi, honestly. But I wouldn't be surprised if they keep him for his defense as well. But yeah, 4 straight years, I'd want to move on. But yeah, sends them home. And then the Trailblazers end up topping the Suns, which brings us to the night. Now, the night's got some really good games, too. And you got the Magic and the Hornets, which should be really good. Now, me personally, I'm leaning towards the Hornets on this one. Magic's got some dogs, including Banchero, but I got to lean with LaMelo and my boy Kobe White, man. I'm glad he made the playoffs, and he's balling right now. So, like I said, I'm leaning the Hornets, and then you got the Warriors-Suns tonight. Now, this is a toss-up, but if I had to guess, I think the Warriors are going to somehow pull off what I think is the upset. But, hey, you can't sleep on Devin Booker either. He's a dog. It's just, the thing is, the Warriors got some dogs too. They still got Draymond, who's still going to bring some nitty and gritty play style. You got Porzingis, who's a dog. But one thing that's surprised me, Porzingis ain't getting rebounds. I mean, he's getting like 5 to 6 a game, and I expect more. But hey, maybe this is a game he goes off if he's able to play. I noticed he had a questionable tag, so we'll see. But yeah, I got the Warriors upsetting the Suns tonight, and moving on, and we'll see what comes from that and everything in between. But hey, good luck to everybody in it, and man, it should be 2 really good games. I might actually have to tune into, regardless of the amount of basketball I watch or whatnot. And then yeah, the last thing with sports though we're going to talk about is actually a really cool moment. It's not necessarily about the sport itself, but what happened in it. So I think it was yesterday, the Pirates catcher Joey Bart ended up coming out with a pink sleeve on his arm. And now remind you, Pittsburgh, all their sports teams are black and gold or black and yellow, regardless of what you all think. It's mostly black and gold, truthfully. But anyway, he comes out with this pink sleeve on, and the video caught my attention because I was like, why is he wearing pink randomly? But the story behind it was the fact that he came out with a pink arm sleeve on to do a gender reveal for the starting pitcher that night in Braxton Ashcraft. And it ended up being that the Ashcraft family was having a girl. And I thought it was cool. The pitcher and the catcher usually have like the best relationship on the team because they spend so much time together and whatnot. And I just thought it was a cool moment. Ashcraft's family was in the attendance, and they showed them getting really excited when he came out with the sleeve on and whatnot. But yeah, that's not only a cool moment, but that's different. Like, you see all these gender reveals, it seems like a lot of people try to copy each other. But to do something like that in such a professional sport, That's honestly a cool thing in my opinion. So if you haven't seen that, go watch a video. It's pretty cool, like I mentioned. But hey, stay creative, man. Y'all can do this stuff. If you got a gender reveal coming up, don't be afraid to do something different, man. Just stand out. Especially in a big moment like that. That's the biggest take from it. And maybe they have a couple more kids, and if they do, hey, it'd be cool to see how they top that. But yeah, cool moment. And with that, we're going to get off of sports, and we're going to get down to our last two topics. Now, I'm not trying to make this a long episode, because we're in for a good one next week. But we're going to talk about the Artemis astronaut mission. Now, if you're not hip to what's going on or what had happened, so NASA sent astronauts up in this space to go around the moon. And this was a 10-day mission, I believe, and whatnot. And they ended up doing it and getting some data and research, whatever. And honestly, it was cool seeing that. And I'm not really a big, like, space nerd, but to see that was actually pretty cool. And what I did look at, though, was when they came home and they ended up doing their landing here in the United States. That was a cool moment to see as well. Like, they came down, they deployed like some parachutes to slow down. They cut them and threw out some main parachutes, and it ended up in like the ocean or something like that. And what I didn't know though was when they landed, it takes them like an hour or so to get back onto the ship that they would end up taking home, or not taking home, but like landing a helicopter on and getting them out of there. I didn't know it took like an hour though. Like that was crazy. But then to hear the backstory is why, like they have like doctors and everything get into like the space shuttle and like check them out for everything and like make sure they're all right and good to like go back, and also take them out, get them out obviously, and get them back to the boat and whatnot. But that was cool. But the coolest thing to me though was the fact that when a couple other astronauts came home, like their whole neighborhood like was holding up flags and like signs and everything, just welcoming them back and whatnot. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool as well. Like to show that much love for somebody, like especially like that, that's cool. And then they get the escort. Like that's such a badass moment to be in, you know. And congrats to them, man, for even being brave enough to become an astronaut, knowing that you could go up to space and anything could happen, you know. Obviously, there's a bunch of accidents before and whatnot, so to have the guts to do something like that, hey, you got to be on a different type of level, I'm telling you. So that was cool, like I mentioned. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing if anything else comes to be this year. I would expect not, but maybe it does. And I know they're trying to explore like if people can live on the moon or something like that, which that's a whole different story and a whole crazy story, honestly. So we'll see if anything comes from that, and if they decide like, hey, we think it could. But to me, I think if something like that were to happen, it'd be like, I don't even know, like centuries away, to be honest. But yeah, there's that. And then I seen this article. We're going to get on our last topic. I seen this article and it made me smile, man. It made me smile. Now, I'm into like cars, and some of my favorite imports, like I've mentioned in previous episodes, are GTRs, man. Nissan Skylines. Whew, something about a Nissan Skyline, man, just gets you blood flowing, man. I'm telling you. Like, everybody loves the R34. And if you don't, you're crazy. I'm just going to be honest. You're crazy. Now, me personally, I like the R35 too. Not as much as the R34, but I love me some R35s. And I know there's a bunch of people out there who do as well. But they're coming out with an R36, they announced. And this article was about that. And the best news I've heard in a while when it came to vehicles was the fact that they're going to make the R36 and not make it a electric based car. Like that to me is pretty cool, man. Like everybody wants to turn their cars into electric now. Like they tried doing like the Chargers and the Challengers and everything, I believe, and that didn't get good feedback from what I've heard. And maybe that's not true. Maybe that's not true at all. But who knows? But yeah, the R36 is not going to be solely electric. And that's great because the spokesperson at Nissan came out and said there's no market for electric cars in the sports car market. So that's cool to hear, man. Like, I personally wouldn't want an electric car. I wouldn't want such a badass car being electric either. Like, there's nothing wrong with gas, man. And some of the best cars are gas. Like, I'm sitting in my Cutlass, man. If this was electric, I probably wouldn't be in here. And I might not even have this podcast, to be honest with you. But, yeah, that was cool to hear, man. And hopefully a lot of other, like, brands and stuff, like, just for example, like Chevy. Say Chevy was going all electric. Hopefully they backtrack and come to their senses that not all of us want electric vehicles, man. And there's probably going to be a better market for gas. I'm not going to lie. And even with gas prices, hey, we can sit here and we can complain about them, but hey, when we get an electric vehicle and things start dying, literally, your car starts dying, you're going to want some gas vehicles. But yeah, man, like I mentioned, that was probably the best news I've heard in a while from anything. And hey, maybe one day I'll own a GTR. I'm hoping, man. That's some of them dream cars, man, like I mentioned before. But yeah, do y'all like the electric cars, or y'all with me on this? Like, it's all right to be different, I guess, but hey, we did it. We got that feedback in, and they come to their senses. Hey, not everybody wants electric vehicles, so GG's, man. That feels good. And yeah, like I mentioned, that's going to be kind of like the last topic, you know. I'm going to say, like, just listen, man, I've gotten some love on some of my reels and whatnot that I post, including my second short on YouTube to get 1,000K views. And like, man, one view, a couple views, a couple hundred, I don't care, man. I'm just grateful for the love and support that everybody's showing, and that will continue to show. And I'm honestly trying to improve each episode and bring something different. I don't always want to talk about sports because I know everybody's not into sports, and I'm wanting to throw in some extra stuff like that. Maybe here for a few episodes here soon, I can just make it without sports. That would be hard for me, honestly, because I'm a sports nerd. But we'll see what we can get into and come up with, and what we can try to add to the podcast as well. If you have any suggestions, I'm always open to hear new things and new ideas and go from there. But yeah, man, I hope y'all are liking these, and like I said, thank you for the support. I appreciate it a lot. Rather you watch 30 seconds, you watch a minute, or the whole pod, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. Just know that. And it's love. And yeah, with that, man, I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. We'll be back next week for sure. And it should be a banger with the draft, But hey, thanks. I hope y'all have a good weekend. I hope y'all enjoy time with family and friends and enjoy life. And with that, peace.